Stefan Molyneux is what dumb people think smart people sound like. He is the dumbest philosopher I've ever seen on YouTube. Like, his theories are just crazy. He's praising a fantasy world that doesn't even exist. He's praising anarcho-capitalism, and he has no proof that will work. And it won't work. You can say that because having no rules in the economy, the businesses could do anything. They could just freaking charge $10,000 for a product that they need or something crazy like that. They could charge, like, give their workers like 1 cent an hour, and all the companies, all the corporations could just like band together and form a monopoly. It doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't work. It obviously wouldn't work. Like, there's no rules in place. Like, there's no bigger power stopping the corporations. Well, the United States is corrupt in itself, but we could stop that corruption if we just like rebelled or something. In an anarcho-capitalist society, that wouldn't work at all. Like, seriously, it just wouldn't work. Like, for example, like, what's stopping you from having your own hitman business? Nothing at all. It's retarded. What's stopping you from having your own disgusting murder business or slavery? Nothing at all. There's no government. There's no rules in place. Like, you think the people are supposed to stop that? You think people are going to go out of their way to hunt these people down? Like, out of their day? No, that's not how it's going to work. Because people will be so occupied in their freaking poverty-stricken anarcho-capitalist society, they won't be able to do any of that. They just won't. You'll have hitmen running around, you have murderers, you have your own private armies just murdering people. Who's to say you can't have your own genocide business, your own freaking virus making business? There's no rules in place, as I'm trying to say. Your own nuclear business. You could just make your own nuclear plant. Like, it's stupid. It's just dumb. There's no rules whatsoever in this anarcho-capitalist society. Stefan Molyneux is just a plain dumb idiot. And on his shows, when he gets a caller that says something he can't counter, he hangs up on them. He just hangs up on them. He just looks confused when the question's being asked. He just scratches his chin a few times, acting like the caller's a complete retard, even though he asked a completely reasonable question. Then he's just like, "Oh, you're not being mature. I see you're just a statist. I'll just hang up on you." That's so retarded. Get out of my face with that. I mean, seriously. What the heck is wrong with you, Stefan Molyneux? Your fan base, your Steph bots, are cult members. Like, I commented on one of your videos and instantly, like 10 fanboys, cult members, came to your defense. Like, all I said was Stefan Molyneux is crazy because he doesn't actually support any of his claims. And I just got in a huge flame war with Steph bots, and they were telling me I can't bring up any facts or any evidence, yet they're not bringing up any facts and evidence, and I am. That doesn't make any sense. They're just regurgitating what Stefan Molyneux has told them already. It's just like, can't you guys think for yourself? Why do you guys have to worship this man on the internet? Like, don't you guys have lives or something? Don't you guys have lives? Like, what sort of pathetic loser would just worship a guy on the internet, just beating off to him all the time? Like, what the heck? That's so stupid. Worshipping a guy on the internet that doesn't bring any facts or evidence. He just sounds smart to you. He just looks smart to you. You guys are idiots. You guys are dumb. He's a master manipulator. If I were to go on his show, some fanboy asked me, why don't you go on his show and call in? Because it's stupid. It's a waste of time. If I were to go on his show, I just get manipulated, my words would get turned around, and if I said a question he can't counter, he'd just hang up on me within all a matter of 30 seconds. It's just a complete waste of time. I've seen how this guy operates. He's just a manipulator. He's done the same thing with Storm's Cloud Gathering. He couldn't counter any arguments. He just sounds confused and scratches his head because he couldn't counter it. He couldn't. He was just standing there supporting something that he has no evidence that will actually work. Anarcho-capitalists have no evidence that it will actually work at all, but for some reason they just believe it. I mean, how would you feel if there were no rules in place at all? Like, businesses could just drive their workers to death. That's how it would work in an anarcho-capitalist society. Is that what you want? Is that really what you want? And who's to say the corporations won't eventually turn into governments themselves? That's stupid. I mean, there's no rules in place to stop government. There's no rules at all, so it's really a retarded system either way. You'd be back in the Dark Ages if that happened. Like, literally, the Dark Ages. Oh my gosh. Stefan Molyneux, he's just crazy. He's a maniac. He's a maniac cult leader. He tells people to cut off all ties with their friends and families.
That's how you can be free by this time tomorrow. You call up the people you know and you say, I've got a question to ask you. I know it's going to be uncomfortable and you know something about my beliefs, and I don't mean to put you I'll put you on the spot, but you kind of got a gun against my temple, so I just wanted to talk about that. I know we've talked a lot about all the abstract things in the universe, but I want to ask you a question directly, and it's better to talk to people face to face. It's harder to point a gun at somebody face to face, even in an abstract manner. But talk to them face to face. Go sit down with them at a coffee shop and say, so, I just want to understand the basis of our relationship. So, you claim to have some affection for me, some love for me, some respect for me, or whatever. You assume there's something positive in the relationship, and you say to them, sitting across from them, you say, excuse me, you say, do you support the use of violence against me? And they'll, of course, oh, no, of course not. It's like, oh, okay, so then we're on the same ground. So, you don't support the use of violence just against me, or do you support the use of violence against everyone except me? It's like, no, I don't support the use of violence against anyone. It's like, well, then you must be an anarchist, or an anarcho-capitalist, or voluntarist, or whatever the hell. You must be a philosopher. You must be basically decent. And they say, well, no, I don't, I still believe in the state, I still believe in taxation, I still believe in government, I still believe in Ron Paul. Okay, well, then you do support the use of violence against me. And they will do whatever they can to disconnect these two things, theory and practice. So they can get all the emotional comforts of conformity with the theory with none of the emotional discomforts of actually advocating somebody getting shot, which people are relatively uncomfortable with. But don't let them have their cake and eat it too. That's not because you're mean, it's just reality. If you support me getting shot, at least have the courage, the balls, to look me in the eye and say, Steph, I support you getting shot. And then I can get you the fuck out of my life.
Obviously, he's a cult leader. I don't know what to tell you. I literally don't know what to tell you. He tells you to cut off all ties with your friends and your closest friends and your closest family members. Even your mom and your dad, just because they don't believe in anarcho-capitalism. What kind of petty, retarded thing is that to say to somebody? That's just stupid. That's just dumb. And you people believe that? And you people call me an idiot for not believing it? You guys call me the person who has no facts and evidence for not believing it? Like, you guys are just idiots. Brainwashed idiots that's too far gone to see the actual truth. That's what you are. I'm sorry. That's the only way I could put it without trying to get right into it, because that's the simplest way I could put it. That's the simplest way I could put it. You guys are just brainwashed. You guys have been watching this guy for so long, you just automatically believe he's right on everything. Like, You guys praise him as a god. You guys can't offer him criticism at all. Just keep donating your money to him. Just keep donating all your money and only listening to him and cutting off everybody who doesn't agree with him. Cause that was sure a good way to live. That's definitely a good way to live. That was sarcasm. Ugh, this guy is just stupid. He contradicts himself all the time. Every other 3 videos, he contradicts himself. Sometimes he contradicts himself within the same videos. Sometimes he contradicts himself within the first 5 seconds of his videos. He contradicts himself all the time. Here's a clip of him contradicting himself. It's pretty self-explanatory.
You can't get an ought from an is. Well, I actually don't agree with that. I'm saying you can't get an ought from an is automatically getting an ought from an is, which is you ought not try to get an ought from an is. So
I have really tried to.
No.
Let me finish.
No. Listen, I'm successful and you're not. If you hated George Bush and you don't hate Barack Obama, then you're a fucking racist. I mean, you are just a southern fried watermelon chewing racist. See, I don't wear a lot of makeup here. I don't wear a lot of makeup. In fact, I wear no makeup. Why? Because I actually do some research, right? An atheist who is a statist is just another theist. I will guarantee you I can get $100 million in funding in about a month. You're just fooling yourself, and you're wasting time, and you're wasting energy, and you're wasting resources, which could be applied to a real program of human freedom, and such as which I modestly say we talk about at Free Domain Radio, which will work because it already has worked. This is not a theoretical. It's quite easy to go through life without being attacked by other private citizens. I've done it. I don't know a single friend of mine who's ever been in a fight. It's quite easy to not get attacked. So I love your show, and I respect what you do. Keep up the good work. What a lovely message. The message, I guess you could say, slightly sullied by the fact that this fine young man sent me $1. I mean, this is the system that even a man convicted of attacking a student sexually can't be fired. They're usually well respected in academia because academia is all about staring up your own nose and masturbating to the very grim sight of your own disused cranial capacities. Stop screwing around with photon colliders, and I don't give a shit about quarks. Go make me something that's going to make me a goddamn sandwich. I have a method of defending myself. It's called not getting into violent situations. Call me before the disaster. Stop insulting philosophy by pretending it's a surgeon and not a nutritionist. The postal workers, and Lord knows they're postal workers, so they're probably quite well armed. They are, because like a third of the postal workers come from the military. It's like the dumping ground for PTSD victims. It's easy enough. You simply buy stink insurance. Stinksurance. What happens is you pay $50 or $20 or whatever it's going to be a month to a company, and that company guarantees that your air is going to smell good. When a man falls in love, his brain turns into sperm. He said it's like having a football game and assuming everyone is going to stay within the lines. Oh, it takes a musician and day trader to make such a bad analogy. In football, really the whole point is to not stay inside the lines. But BP, I mean, why is BP out in the ocean? Because they're not allowed to drill on land, because the federal government owns 1/3 of the land, and environmentalism is a very politically sensitive issue. I mean, why are they out there drilling in 20 miles of water? It's ridiculous, right? Now, I'm leaving all of his spelling and grammatical errors in for 2 reasons. I mean, he's obviously a very intelligent man. I respect his intelligence. The fact that he would type so rapidly, again, it's kind of a sophist trick saying, well, I'm just going to whip this off because this argument isn't even worth my time. You live freedom. You show freedom. You teach freedom through being free, not through lecturing people to vote for Ron Paul or donating money to Ron Paul. I think donating money to me might help, but that's just my opinion. But me, as an entrepreneur, when I was a waiter at a pizza place, You know, when I was stocking shelves when I was 12 years old at a convenience store. I worked in a daycare when I was a teenager for a couple of years. I've sort of seen this stuff firsthand. It's great. You know, I got my first job when I was 10. You know, I got my first job at the age of 11 in a bookstore. Yeah. I mean, my first job, I was painting plaques. One of my first jobs, let's go. My very first job was I assembled newspapers and stock books and all that in a bookstore when I was 11. I cleaned cars, and I've just been working since I was 10. I had bad bosses because I started working when I was 11 or whatever. I started programming at about the age of 11. I worked at a collections agency, and then I got a job at a hardware for $2.75 an hour. Ooh, right? When I was younger, I used to do work on being an extra. I used to do a radio show there. Then I was cleaning offices for $2.60 an hour.
Like, you fanboys, fanboys is an understatement in this sense. They're just too far gone. They're not even fanboys at this point. They're just cult members, donating your money, cutting off all ties with family members. I can't even call them a fanboy. They're just cult members. Like, I'm sick of all these YouTube cult members, really. Like, people just worshiping PewDiePie, a man that plays video games, and will want to kill somebody who doesn't like PewDiePie. Like, don't you guys have lives? That's just stupid. Ugh, I gotta find a replacement word for stupid. But I can't, because these people are legit stupid. They're just stupid. You guys don't have lives. You just gotta sit in front of your computer on YouTube all day watching the same nonsensical videos. I mean, there's so much more to the internet than just looking at people play games on the internet. Like, gameplay channels are so played out. I'm sorry if you're a gameplay channel. I just don't like them. They're just played out to me. Like, people just standing in front of the just playing games, offering fake reactions. PewDiePie will just be like, that's so scary. That's so scary. That's so scary. I'm so scared. Hey, my bones. Yeah. Like, I legit lose 10,000 brain cells just watching him. I'm just burnt out within the first 10 seconds of the video because I lost so many brain cells. You can't watch it constantly. I can't even watch the first minute of it. It's so retarded. PewDiePie, oh god, he sucks. Oh my gosh. All these YouTube like, if somebody just started praising my channel in, like, offering to kill somebody who doesn't agree with my channel, like, that would disturb me, because all I do is make videos on YouTube. I just speak my mind and post it on here. Like, I'm not trying to get famous or anything. I only have 60 something subscribers, and, like, literally I don't really put that much production value into the video. It's just me talking and me editing. It's nothing. It's nothing. If somebody would just go crazy over my channel, that would be pretty creepy and pretty weird. I'm just a regular guy like everyone else, just on YouTube, okay? I'm not some sort of god or some sort of dude. I'm just a regular 17-year-old boy on YouTube. So don't like worship me if I eventually become famous and get like 1 million subscribers, even though I highly doubt that would happen. And all you stuff bots, you're just gonna flood this video, just flooding this video with dislikes. I'm ready. I don't care about dislikes. I don't care about comments. I'll leave your comments on here, because I don't delete comments usually unless it's just some retarded troll spammer just spamming the comments. I leave comments up, so you guys can say whatever you want down there. Have fun. I'll be debunking you in the comments section, because you guys are just retarded at this point. Your brain cells are just gone. Just completely gone. Oh, and by the way, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to ask it down there. Feel free. And if you have any proof that anarcho-capitalism works, even though it doesn't exist, then feel free to comment it down there. And Stefan Molyneux, feel free to message me And if you are ready for a debate, which of course you aren't, because you're just some sort of manipulative cult leader that can't take an L on anything. You just can't take a loss, or else it will ruin your entire ego. Like literally, you're just an egomaniac. Cause okay, I can admit I'm wrong, but cult leaders, they don't admit they're wrong ever. They want you to praise them as a god, and that's what Stefan Molyneux, he's telling you this fantasy land that doesn't exist. Ooh, anarcho-capitalism. If you know anarcho-capitalism, oh, you'll be set free. Cut off all ties with your family members. Praise me. Donate money to me. Donate thousands of dollars to me. $1 isn't enough. Donate thousands of dollars. Thousands and thousands of dollars to me. I am your God. I am your God. Worship me. Ah!